Welcome to North Hudson Public Works Committee meeting of Tuesday, September 15, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. Call to order, roll call, please.
Chair Pike.
Here.
Trustee Head.
Here.
Trustee Matz.
He's there.
He's
Here.
here.
Okay. All right. Item number 2. Your sound is a little low, Phil. All right. That's a little better. Item number 2, approve the minutes of August 18, 2020 Public Works meeting.
I move to approve the minutes from the August 18, 2020 Public Works meeting.
I second.
Any comments or discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
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 And opposed? Item number 3, comments from the floor. I don't see any extras in here. Item number 4, village utilities discussion. So I'm asked Patrick to keep that on here. And we had a discussion today with R&M about helping us move forward as far as the ad hoc committee and stuff. And we're going to get a timeline from them in the near future. So we'll keep that one on here just in case, but it's on hold. Item number 5, stormwater ERU discussion and possible recommendation. Patrick.
That one I talked to Melissa just a little bit ago. She was she's wanting Cedar Corp to be involved with this. So I guess either I'll wait to hear back from Patrick or I'll reach out and we'll try to get it figured out, I guess.
Okay, so we're trying to make sure, basically we're trying to make sure our numbers are correct, right?
Yeah.
Before we send it off to the city.
Yep.
Yeah,
There
okay.
was some stuff that there was questions on.
And Kevin, you're aware of this?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Definitely.
So we'll be able to deal with this by next meeting?
Yeah, it shouldn't
Okay.
be a problem.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion about that one? Otherwise, we just table it for now until we get our numbers right. All right. Item number 6, auto dialer at East Bank Sanitary Sewer Lift Station discussion and possible recommendation. Patrick?
So I spoke with Kevin and Jeff, I believe,
Yep.
from Cedar Corp, and I'll leave this on here. It's a lot of stuff to put together, and the bids or the quotes have so many different things in them that I'm gonna work with Cedar Corp, and we're gonna get a sheet together that's got specific questions on it, and then we'll make a decision between I and Cedar Corp as to what we need, and I'll leave this on the agenda, and we should be okay. It shouldn't take that long to get this, and I haven't gotten an update yet on when the control panel will be here yet, but I think from the time that we ordered it, it was 8 to 10 weeks, so we've got a little bit of time.
Okay, and the auto dialer, did we approve an amount to spend, or we only
No.
spent just on the controller, right?
We just did the control panel because you wanted to wait, and I agreed. Let's see what we have, and I'll get Cedar Corp's opinion, and then we'll just go from there, and then I'll get your recommendation.
All right, sounds good.
But I'll just leave it on there.
Any questions for him, Phil or Lori?
Nope, that sounds good. We'll wait it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so many of them have such different options, and it's kind of confusing, actually.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to want to make sure we understand what they all are. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Item number 7, fencing for Public Works Garage discussion and possible recommendation.
Okay. I guess as far as that goes, I'm going to kind of wait on this one. I'll leave it on the agenda. I had a plan that we're starting to get stuff cleaned up down there. I may we'll just put a wooden fence on one side, and that would save some money, and then do the chain link fence on the other side. So I'll try to get one more bid by the next meeting, and then at least then we've got something to look at. But for right now, I think we'll kind of pass on that one too. I'll leave
So-
it on the agenda.
So, okay, so this was to get a quote or 2 quotes at least for doing the entire fencing with chain link, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And now you're thinking you might want to do part of it in wood?
Well, I think maybe the north side we might want to do wood, just because there's residents there, and it probably would be a lot better pleasing to the eye instead of having a,
Nah,
you know.
I got chain link around me, brother, from my neighbors. And it's not unpleasing.
Well, that's on your neighbors.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Still,
Well, it's an
let's-
option. I just thought it was cheaper.
I want it to be secure though. I don't want somebody to kick a board through. So
Mhm.
I don't know about Lori and Phil, what you guys think.
Well, my thinking is it's not secure now, so
Well, it is. I mean, we have all the important stuff fenced in still. So
yeah. So then we're good on that. Okay.
yeah, we don't really have anything back there that's
So
any
in
value.
August, all right, reminder, in August, we picked up the whole thing. So the
August
part that's-
17th.
Yeah,
Yep.
so the part that is open right now has, if we want to put things in there
Mhm.
and we want to keep them secure, we would need to chain link the rest of that property.
Got it.
It leads to another thing down the road, just so you guys know what's in my head here, is that right now when people get towed from here, they get towed to River Falls. And there might be a possibility using that back area for local residents to get towed to our lot. And they wouldn't have so far to go.
Do you guys know about how many people get towed, on average? Any idea?
No,
That's a question
But
for Chief.
that's a chief question. You want to take that one to him, Lori?
I can, yeah. I'll shoot
Yeah,
you.
please. And then, if the village ever passes a snow ordinance, obviously the snowing would get, or the towing would get snowing. I hate that word. The towing would get
Probably-
worse.
I would think ordinance first, then tow.
Right.
Yep.
But you're right. I don't know how many are getting towed right now.
Okay.
So
Brian.
I believe they're talking about the rotation of towing services right now coming out of public safety.
they are.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about how many people got towed.
Okay.
But the companies in rotation.
Okay.
What's on his mind?
Okay. Well, you might mention to them what we're talking about at your next meeting.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Brian,
Yes.
before we leave that subject, I think I don't know if you mentioned it or not. Sorry. We should probably have a certified survey map of that lot before we do any fencing. I'll work with
I thought-
Kevin on that.
I thought Kevin was already working on that. Was that just me and you talking, Patrick? Or
Yes.
oh, okay. So yeah, Kevin, we've been talking about wanting that.
All right.
Hey, isn't that in our GIS system already?
Well, we
Yeah.
can't put it in our GIS if we don't know what the boundaries are.
Yeah, I mean, the map that you have now is obviously not survey accurate.
Okay.
CSM, that'll be, irons will be set and all that.
Yep.
So,
I think we need that unless Phil and Lori disagree.
No, we need it.
It's always good to know where your lines are.
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
It prevents future problems.
That's exactly. All right. Any other discussion about the fencing?
Nope.
All right. Item number 8, snow removal contract for Village of North Hudson, discussion and possible recommendation. And we've got, Patrick was able to meet with Zappa Brothers, and you see the new contract here. The dollar amount's the same for in an annual way.
Yep.
We might burn through it a little faster because some of the hourly rates went up from. So the 103 plus 104, Patrick, does that mean He's going from 103 to 104, or is
Yeah.
he? Okay.
Yep. I'm sorry. That was too confusing. I shouldn't
gonna say-
have done it that way.
If it's going from 103 to 207, that would make a difference. But
No.
okay. All right. Any questions? I guess I need a motion.
Move to approve the snow ice removal contract per the agreement dated September 11th, 2020.
I second.
All right. Now, further discussion. You have any questions about this contract, Phil or Lori?
No, I think it's reasonable. It's less than a 1% increase.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then, since this is a spend issue, Lori,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Okay. So that's approved. And we've got, some other docks in here, the snow plowing street priority and the plow route. Do you guys have any questions about that, Lori or Phil? It was pretty self-explanatory to me.
Yes. Yep. Looking over it.
Okay, and when you looked over it, did your area get proper priority up there? So I don't have to hear from Ted.
You're good. It's golden.
Don't start, Brian.
I couldn't help it.
You just ignore him anyway, so it's okay.
Not true. All right, yeah, that looks good. Thank you. Thank you for that added info, Patrick.
Yep.
Is that something, do we post this map up on our
Yep, Melissa
website?
usually puts it on the website. Yep.
All right, so this other sheet where you've got the colors identified, we make sure that the map does identify those clearly, the priorities? Okay.
Yeah, if we could
All
get
right.
the key on the same page as the map, that would be useful too
Okay.
Yeah,
for the
that's what I'm
website.
saying.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
And I'm sure she does that. This
Okay.
is what I had, so that's what I put out there.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, item number 9 is chair update, and I don't have anything for you at this point. Item number 10, engineer report. Kevin.
All right, so just one thing. The Ridges subdivision, they did get the final lift of asphalt down early this month. We do have something scheduled with the developer tomorrow. Gonna do that final walkthrough, come up with any remaining punch list items. So we'll be doing that tomorrow afternoon. And then the other thing is they've notified us that they're going to move forward with phase 3. They want to go through the village review process this winter, and then actually do the construction next spring. So with that one, that development will be completely filled out, once the roads and remaining public improvements have been installed. If you remember, there is one piece with that third phase that we've been working through is the booster station. There's provisions in the bathroom facility for that. The thought, because you get up in higher elevations, the static pressures are going to get low. We did have one meeting already with City of Hudson, obviously the village staff, SEH, and then the developer's engineer. So we're just kind of revisiting that issue that was talked about when we went through the concept plan. Patrick went out and did some fire flow tests up on that northern end of the phase 2 development, and then on the western side. So they're kind of taking back those results and re-looking at the remodeling just to see what anticipated fire flows are going to be, and then the static pressures. And then we have another meeting scheduled for the 23rd to kind of look at what they came up with the results, SEH. So just want to let you know that that's ongoing, and they're moving forward to look at doing construction next year on the third phase.
Any questions?
Yep. How about this silt fence, Kevin?
That's something that we'll be looking at tomorrow in that final walkthrough.
Okay.
And if there's anything that needs to be addressed with restoration or any of that, that'll be noted on the list. So
Thank you.
yeah, you bet.
Bill?
Nothing.
Okay, so booster station. Are we saying that we expect the booster station to be taken care of prior to any building up there, future building?
It's talked about, that would have to go in for that final phase. So that would be something in conjunction with public improvements. Again, there's space in that building. The connections are all there. It's just a matter of putting the booster station, which is a kind of a pre-made skid that fits into that building, and then you just make those final connections to the water main pipe.
What did Hudson say?
Until we have that, the remodeling done, I don't know if there's necessarily a strong, push one way or the other direction wise.
Okay.
And we have had some concerns up there with some of the homes up, with some
Right.
static pressures. So, and we know that, that final phase is, the elevation is actually higher in those areas. But
Which means what to you?
so basically that's going to mean lower static pressures. That's all, kind of
Right.
driven by what the water level is in the water tank that's up there.
Yep.
So DNR code wise, you got to have 35 PSI at the first level.
Okay.
And, after we have that meeting on the 23rd, then I think we'll have a clear direction on which way we're leaning towards.
What's the PSI at now?
Some of the tests that we had, what was it, Patrick? Like in the 40s?
Yeah, I think that last one that I took was 40. Was it 43, 42?
Somewhere.
Okay. And so do you know approximately number of new homes we're talking about in that next phase?
I think it was around 20 something.
Yeah.
I want to say.
All right. So do we know how much 20 more homes is going to drop that PSI?
And that's again something that they're modeling. There's software
Okay.
that's out there. So
All right.
yeah. So just wanted to let you know that those discussions are taking place.
All right. Appreciate it. Anything else from you?
That's all I got.
How's my GIS maps looking?
They're coming along. I know.
You guys,
I think Patrick was gonna probably look at sharing some of that stuff with you next month.
okay. Are we moving?
Yeah, so he has the GPS unit. We did kind of a half a day training over at our office, and then the maps and stuff are all there, ready.
Maps are there.
Yep.
So we're down to our guys just getting the data in there.
Yep, going around collecting, manhole, gate valves, curb stops, whatever else you should want to pick up through that GPS unit.
We're gonna get laterals too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Curb stops. Yep.
Curb stops. That's what you call lateral. Okay. All right. Anything else from you?
All I got.
All right. Item number 11, director's report. Patrick.
So yeah, Kevin, you were right. It was 42 PSI. That's the static. I just grabbed the sheet. So, in your packet there, I also included the map of the seal coating that in the green, that was what was done this year. So we actually got quite a bit of seal coating done. And then just to touch on that, I know we had some complaints. There was some kind of a culmination of a lot of things. There was some bad oil, and then we had some rain, and oil did wash off. They came out last week. Our contractor came out and cleaned up some of the curb. There's somebody else that's coming in tomorrow to do some more. I think they're actually going to hire it out to have someone come and remove some more stuff from the curb and gutter. My thought is I'm trying to work with our contractor to see if they would put a fog seal over the top, because I did go out and sweep up some chips, and it seems like it's maybe not, the chips maybe aren't going to hold through the winter. So I am going to strongly encourage that we get a little bit of oil on top of that so that they don't come off. So that's kind of my plan going forward. We'll see what happens. I'll update you at the next meeting. And then that's, I guess that's kind of all I got for my director's report. We're working on some curb and gutter, replacing some. We've cut some trees down. The roots had pushed curb and gutter up, so we're replacing some of that stuff, tearing out some around some manholes, getting that stuff fixed up, trying to do things like that before the snow hits.
And could you let the village know why 6th Street was closed down recently?
I could. They came out to do some tree trimming. It was in conjunction with the Highway 35 project. So they had a subcontractor come in, XL did, to trim trees, and then XL will be back in October, and they'll more than likely do the same thing, make a detour, and they'll be moving some of the poles, so in preparation for the 35 project in the spring.
Are we expecting anything else this fall from any utility doing pre-work for the 35 project?
Not that I've heard of. I don't know about
Kevin?
you, Kevin.
Oh, I haven't heard anything either.
Okay. You've got a schedule for the 35 project, right?
Yeah, they're gonna, they're bidding that project out, I think January of next year.
Oh, okay.
So that thing is gonna start, as soon as they possibly can get out there.
So we won't have an actual schedule of events and timing and stuff until it's actually been bid out, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
They'll have
So-
a pre-construction meeting and all that stuff, and
Okay.
thinking that's probably gonna be in February, March.
Okay.
Once we know who the general contractor is gonna be.
All right.
So
Any other questions for Patrick, Phil, or Lori? Okay. Item number 12, discussion public works capital and equipment planning. And we have is that this budget sheet that we've got, Patrick?
Yeah, that's either to add or remove or anything like that. I just kind of set it out there because I'll be working on this stuff probably this weekend. So
Okay. Did we get budget stuff already from Melissa?
yeah, I got it Monday. Yeah.
Okay. So I would just recommend one thing: you separate expense from capital here.
Yep.
So, okay. And I don't know what our dollar number is that we use to say this is a cap expense versus a expense.
5, I think 5,000.
Is it? Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 of them would probably be cap then, huh?
Yep.
Unless we buy things together and then maybe she'd want to cap some of it. Try and get an idea from Nathan if you can about what is and isn't going to be capped on this list.
Yep.
But other than that, anybody got any questions for Patrick about the list that's in front of you?
Yeah, prioritize it. That way,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let us know what you think you need the most and why would be helpful.
Yep.
I was with the laptop. Is the $2,000 for one laptop?
Yeah, I just kind of threw a number there. I don't know what. I'm guessing we won't come close to that, but
Okay.
I would like to get a printer, scanner, whatever, a small one for the shop too, because there's things that we could use that for. So I'm guessing it won't come to that. I'll fix up these numbers before I bring them to budget, but I was just kind of throwing stuff out there. These are very rough estimates.
Okay, so preliminary right now. Okay.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to ask you guys or talk to you, whatever. The skid steer, when we traded it in, has a 2-year warranty. So that 2-year warranty would be coming up in March. So do we want to plan to trade that in? And if so, you'll see the dollar amount there is 9,000.
Mhm.
What they did is they stopped making the model that we have,
I know.
and now there's a new and improved model, which means a little more money. So I'm going to do a little investigating on that, I guess, and probably go to a few other places and get some quotes as well. But I don't know. Are you all in agreement that we should trade up on 2 years, or do you want me to hold off, or what are you thinking?
How bad? How beat up is our Bobcat, our skid steer, and do they offer an extended warranty if it's not that bad? Can we go another 2 years?
I can check into the extended warranty. Our skid steer is really not that bad. Since we've gotten the loader, the hours are down. The only expense that we'll have this year is it's going to need tires.
For the winter?
Yeah, we should. Well, I mean, we'll get by till January, but we should put them on this winter. Yep.
Well, I'm asking, okay, so you're saying this winter before we would do our normal trade-in timeline here.
Yeah, even if we were to trade it in, we'd have to put tires on it because if we trade it in like it is, that we'd buy tires anyway.
Okay.
Kind of like we did the last time. I think we had put tires on it, and then we ended up trading it in, and
Okay.
it ends up being kind of a wash.
Basically, they're going to charge us for the tires if the tires are not
Yep.
fairly new, no matter what. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm okay with looking for, they think the Bobcats, I haven't heard any complaints out of you guys about the Bobcat brand, at least.
No, we've just had a couple minor issues with it, so it's nothing major.
All right. Well, let us know.
Okay.
And do you have a timeline on that budget?
I do. It's still in the packet.
Okay. Probably going to want to let us know sooner rather than later what that timeline is that you've got to deal with. And you have another list of budget items, don't you?
It's gonna go pretty fast because we're getting down to crunch time. A list of budget items.
Yeah, we were looking at a larger and a prioritized budget item last time we looked at a list from you. Where's that list? I'm sure we didn't clean everything off of it.
Oh, no. I think you're thinking of the list that I gave you that had like everything on it from last year, and that was too confusing, so I got rid of that list.
Okay, and
because I had read out the ones that we had gotten, and then it seemed to be too confusing, so I just didn't show that one.
Okay, well, I think like was mentioned, we need these expense items versus cap separated. And then obviously they should be listed in priority.
Yep.
I'd use bullets that are numbered so we can reference numbers. Just a couple of thoughts.
Yep.
And the loader's working good, I take it.
Yep.
All right. We're not going to have to buy tires for that every year, are we?
No.
All right. So
no, because that articulates.
So I mentioned, Patrick, just so you guys know, the single axle trailer. We have an old trailer, which needs to be sold. But I mentioned the trailer to him so we could save the tires a little bit on the Bobcat if we were trailering it to some of our parks that are at a distance. Might save our tires a little bit. And I don't know where he's going to put that on the priority list. Probably low because they like just driving that thing, but that's why that's there. Any other questions for Patrick about the budget items? All right. So that brings us to discussion, future goals and agenda. Obviously the budget should be on next agenda, right? Patrick?
Mm-hmm.
And this, we won't have a, I guess we won't have a budget meeting as far as with the village prior to us getting a chance to discuss these budget items in this committee, right?
I don't believe so.
Well, you need to look at your dates, make sure that we've got at least another Public Works meeting.
Okay, I'll shoot you out an email
Okay,
when I look at it.
your head's kind of cut off there, but there you go.
It's because I lost my holder thing.
All right, Phil, Lori, future goals or agenda items?
Seems like budget's number one right now.
It's what it sounds like. So, and Kevin and Patrick, have we updated the 5-year capital improvement?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we should just revisit that again. Typically, this is time of the year we kind of just go through that. I
Okay.
could, provide the map and the estimates or whatever.
Yeah, what you did last year, if we could get that again for our next meeting when we're talking budgets, that'd be great to have.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. That brings up nothing else, Phil, Lori, on
No.
this one?
You
All
know
right,
what,
brings-
Brian? I'm sorry. I'm thinking back. I don't know that there was a schedule in there yet. I think I just got a packet, but I'll look and I'll email you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, let us know if you need us
Yep.
to. I guess what I'm trying to say, Patrick, is if it's coming before our next Public Works meeting,
Yep.
that the board's going to sit down and discuss budgets, I would want to get us together before then, so we're all on the same page.
All right. Fair enough.
All right, that brings us to item 14. We are adjourned at 6:02 p.m.
See you guys.
Go Raiders.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, Phil.